Hey guys, good morning. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Friday. Anyway, so this morning I was thinking about my job. I work at Chandler Academy and it's like the best job that I've ever had in my life. For 31 years I taught art. Um, I was artistic and my whole story of how I became an art teacher is like crazy, but I wasn't going into education. I was actually going into to be a pediatric psychologist. But while taking an art class, I cut my hand, started to bleed, and I just knew that I couldn't be in the medical field. So I thought, what else do I want to do? And I really didn't know at that time. I just knew that I was very passionate about kids who were the underdogs, kids who were picked on or bullied or required maybe some special attention. So I decided I was going to be a special ed teacher. And I was sitting in art class once again, and the teacher said, Karen, what is your major? And I said, special ed, physically handicapped, mentally impaired. And she said, oh no, if you're going to be a teacher, you need to go be an art teacher. So, I listened to her. I got up. She told me to get up, go take my books, and leave the class and change my major that day. And so I did. And I really never looked back. I was a teacher, but I have to honestly say that I was not happy in that field. I always thought there was something more. I always thought that I was meant to do something else, and but yet I had a degree in art education, and I just needed to use it. But what I failed to do was reflect on the other gifts and talents that God had given me. And at that time, I knew I had great interpersonal skills. I got along great with people, and there was other things that I could have done, but because we get locked in, we get security, we get safety. I had a 401k, I have health insurance, so I have all these things that was, you know, safe. I was safe. But, it wasn't until my year that I could retire that I didn't play it safe anymore, because I was like, you know what? The Lord's put me in a position where I was working with a social worker and a therapist in a school where I was teaching. They had seen that I was gifted in working with kids emotionally who were struggling, that I was their safe person, and that they would trust me and open up to me, and that we could get to the root of things. So they asked me to start running groups, and it was great. I really felt like, wow, this perhaps is what I'm supposed to be doing, because I no longer felt like there was something more. It was like it was getting filled. And I wasn't getting paid extra. I did it because I knew it was an opportunity that the Lord was providing for me. I didn't know what was going to become of it. I was still the art teacher there. So I went to that summer. I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to try to apply for a social emotional learning specialist job. And I had worked where I'm at now as the art teacher years back. And I always felt like I would be back there, but I never knew, it wasn't going to be art, but I didn't know what it was going to be. So I call the principal up and I say, could you give me a letter of recommendation? I'm wanting to apply for this job. I have the credentials and the experience, and she said, well, what are you wanting to apply for? And so I told her, and she was like, I can do better than that. We have a job opening in that field. Why don't you come in, bid for it, and then we will have the interviews and you can come in. To make a long story short, God did that, guys. God orders our steps, okay? You know, when we don't know, I mean, like, he just puts things into place, opens doors, puts the right people, makes things happen in his timing. And so now I'm working here at a school where I'm totally just creating relationships, helping them to manage their emotions. And, you know, I started a leadership character training program in which it's about behavior intervention and modification, because I'm very passionate about change. I'm very passionate about growth, self-growth. And so I've implemented that. You know, I have freedoms to where there might be something that looks like, I don't know, I just see things, and if I see that something's not working, I work hard to find a solution to make it better. And so that's a gift I have. But you know, I have this personality, and my friend, she's like, Karen, you need to rest. Like, your mind just goes 1,000 miles a minute. You know, that's just not normal, and you just need to slow down. And it's like, I don't know, I can't, I don't know how. It's like, it's not like anything I can control. It's just literally the way I'm wired. And I can't stop the thoughts coming through my head. And I can't stop, like, the entrepreneurial ideas that I get. And, you know, my whole life, I jumped from different things. I would be in this business, and then I'd do this, and then I would go over here and do this. And, you know, I really just thought I was ADHD. But after taking a couple tests that I took just a couple days ago, that Dharius Daniels recommended, it's the spiritual gift test and the fivefold. It's called the fivefold gifts, the 5 roles God has called Christians to feel. Well, when I took those two test gifts, it made sense. I mean, like, the gifts that I have that God's given me, that's the reason I am the way I am, and I do what I do, and basically I am where I am. And, like, what I realized is that, you know, the teaching job only filled a little bit of some of those gifts. And, you know, the gifts that, you know, for the spiritual gifts, it was administration, shepherding, and mercy. And then for the fivefold, it was pastor, apostle, prophet. And those are the 3 highest on both sides. And, you know, when you take that test, it has a description of each of those, like describing the roles for that, and what would be possibly good jobs for you. And, you know, the administration, that is a new season in my life that I haven't always had, because I've taken the spiritual gift test before, and it had teaching in one of those as being the highest. But since I took that, I have opened a couple businesses, and just really have scaled that more. And so, you know, our gifts can change in the seasons that we go through. And so I wondered why I was feeling this need and calling to do these, being in charge of different things. And it's just like, where is this coming from? And honestly, it's coming from God. And so if you're a child of the King, if you're a Christian, you have been given these gifts, and you need to really know what they are. If you know what they are, it will help you be more fulfilled in your job, um, or find one that fits the gifts that he's given you. Because I know some people out there are just dreading going to their jobs. Like, they feel like it's just a no end. It's just like it's not fulfilling the purpose that God called them to. A lot of people don't even know what that purpose is. We had to do a personal mission statement, personal calling statement. Those two are interchangeable. And I knew exactly what the Lord has called me to do. But I didn't always know. And to know that, you kind of have to have a relationship with him, one that's close, that he can reveal to you exactly what he's called you to do. And I'm just thankful for the people that God's putting in my life, and the things that are happening in this season of my life. I wouldn't have ever thought it. The things that's going on and that I'm doing. But I came on here for a couple things. One is to say, go take those tests, spiritual test and fivefold test. If you're a Christian, or even if you're not, I meant, like, it might be interesting to see how you're wired, because you know what, you might not believe in God, and you might not think he's real, or any of that stuff, or you might not be a Christian, you might not be saved yet. But I know God, and I know he's real. I know that he has saved my life. He's just really transformed my life. And so he made all of the people in his image. He is the creator. And whether you believe that or not, if you go take that test and you see the outcome of it, you're going to be, like, very surprised that your personality, and it explains a lot of things about who you are and what drives you, like, what motivates you, what causes you to be like that. And it's just really, it's good. It's just good to know. Education, guys, is the key to transformation. Okay? What you don't know, you can't change. And that's just with anything. It's like revealing, as you look introspectively at yourself, revealing maybe your weaknesses or your strengths. It's just like not knowing how to, use a computer. Once you know, it unlocks a whole world of things for you. So the key is education. And learning. Always be a learner. And if things interest you, study. Read. Reading is good for your mind. And I was told that, I'm thankful that I want to learn all the time, because they say that it will help you from getting Alzheimer's, and that's a plus. But like, what are you interested in? Like, think and say, are you in a job that you feel that you should or shouldn't be there? And if you shouldn't be there, like, figure out, like, what is causing you to not like it. Besides the income, don't look at the income. I know it's important, but it's really not all that important. I know you have to survive and pay your bills, but the Lord will provide if you find your purpose and your placement. He will provide your every need. And I've learned in life too that you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. I mean, I'm thinking about putting myself in uniform at my school, like black blazer, tan pants, tan blazer, black pants. Throw it up with maybe a white jacket so that it can be interchangeable between white, black, and tan, and just wear it over and over and over, because we have, and not everybody can do that, but that's how I am. Like, I can eat the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just what I can do, and I know some people can't do that. So just makes life easier for me. I don't have to think about things that don't really matter. And so, you know, it's not all in the clothes that we wear, but in our personalities and in our minds and thoughts. And so, if I'm just looking nice, and you know, food, if it's not an emotional thing, you're really just eating to live. And so, you know, I got into a habit where I eat the same thing pretty much every day. Do I get sick of it? Really? Not really. But, you know, my stomach has issues to where if I don't eat that, I just get sick. So I've kind of got off that somewhat, and I'm paying the price. So I'm going to get back on it. But, yeah, that was a rabbit hole. Okay, well, it's Friday. I hope you have a great day. If you can, just Google those tests. And guys, don't stay stuck in a place that you don't feel like you're supposed to be. Fear is a liar. Okay? Fear's a liar. Don't let it rob you from opportunities because you're scared of taking them. And I just said the other day, last night I think, that if I hadn't been scared, I really probably would have gone away to school. But because I was so scared, I didn't venture off. And so I played it safe. For the most part of my life, I played it safe. And, you know, I mean, now I'm a risk taker. And I'm older now. Maybe that comes with age. But anyway, okay. Hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.